Okay. Sanjay sir, can you hear me?
Some noise is there, some permanent noise is there, and
Okay, okay, okay. Got it. ठीक है, आता है बरोबर?
yet some noise is there. But I can hear you properly. Nothing. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go on mute and you tell me whether.
Yes, now noise is gone.
I think सर तुमचा जो फॅन आहे ना त्या फॅनचा आवाज आहे ना तो येतोय.
नाही, फॅनचा नाही येत. I'm recording this on my laptop and I'm sitting on my phone, so that's but that's fine. I'll go on mute. Basically, you and my students are going to talk mostly. So we can start, guys. Please unmute your mics and put on your videos. I'll go on mute, and Sanjay sir, you can take it ahead. I think we have more will come. So guys, you can please unmute, share. Pratik, Amit. Okay, you guys can unmute and you can start with this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go
Thanks,
on
Chirag.
mute.
Yeah.
Yes. So, good evening, guys. We are here for today's. The topic is peak margin. So, basically, topic is very easy, but it's actually it's come to when it's come to that margin, and we now to understand because the peak margin also is penalized by the exchange. So, before the peak margin, we need to fulfill only the OD margin, which is actually is affecting the derivative market. But right now, the derivative market as well as the equity market, both the market actually required the EOD margin as well as the peak margin. So the peak margin is in simple words is whatever you are use highest or peak margin during the day. So either you are doing intraday trade or you are doing delivery trade. So that is only the peak margin, and the peak margin calculation is given by the exchange, the guidelines given by the exchange, how they are calculated. And we are actually today with simply method, we are actually the check with the live example, so how we actually calculated the peak margin, and how it's need to fulfill. So I just share the screen, just hold on. Okay. Okay, so so that we here for that how the making program for the participant aware of the issue around the peak margin collection, and the reporting is with effect from the 1st December. So from the 1st December, the peak margin is implemented, is not implemented from the 1st December. The penalty will charge from that 1st December only, because the peak margin collection and reporting we are actually doing from last 3 months. So it is only for the penalized options are started from the 1st December. So basically, we, if suppose the check what the background for the peak margin is. So the upfront margin was always compulsory, as I said, and reporting was end of the day in derivative segment since inception. So in derivative segment, EOD margin is compulsory since the derivative market is in the market. But in cash segment, it's started from 1st January 2020, as you know. But the penalty is charged from the 16th September 2020, because that due to the lockdown and the pandemic situation, so exchange extended that penalty part, but they are actually charged the penalty from 16th September. So now, right now, the equity or as well as the derivative, both the segments need to collect EOD margin as well as the peak margin. So this changing from the 1st December, at SEBI circular, you can check, and you can check what that the SEBI said in that circular. But that is only that 3 pages of circular, so you need to read. But the framework and you can say that the practical way how we actually face that the peak margin reporting. So right now we just go for the highlights of that the peak margin framework. So, so peak margin snapshot actually the sent by the exchange to the broker by client wise, because there is a no we can say that system for that exchange to calculate at highest or the peak margin at any time. So they actually try to take a 4 snapshot during the day, but we don't know what time they're actually taking a snapshot. So we need to fulfill that highest peak margin or highest margin from that 4 snapshot. So अगर हम इसको समझना ही है तो हम लोग उसको एग्जांपल के साथ भी ले सकते हैं. सो एग्जांपल में इसके साथ इसके बाद ले ही लूंगा, बिकॉज ये जो 4 snapshot जो एक्सचेंज हमें सेंड करता है, तो ड्यूरिंग द डे अगर कोई भी इक्विटी डेरिवेटिव्स कोई भी ट्रेड कोई भी सेगमेंट में हो, फिलहाल एक कॉम्प्लिकेशन वाला पार्ट सिर्फ एक्सचेंज लेवल पे ये होता है, बिकॉज एनएससी इज अ डिफरेंट एक्सचेंज, बीएससी इज अ डिफरेंट एक्सचेंज, एमसीएक्स इज अ डिफरेंट एक्सचेंज, राइट. सो एक्सचेंज पार्ट पे ही होता है, बट फॉर दैट इक्विटी सेगमेंट और द डेरिवेटिव सेगमेंट अगर हम लोग देखेंगे, सो क्लियरिंग कॉर्पोरेशन मर्ज हो चुका है, मतलब एनएससी और बीएससी का कोई भी एक क्लियरिंग कॉर्पोरेशन जो है वो सेटल करता है. सो डेरिवेटिव और इक्विटी सेगमेंट के लिए कोई इशू नहीं आएगा. सो आप ट्रेड एनएससी में करो, बीएससी में करो, इक्विटी में करो या डेरिवेटिव्स में करो, तो थ्रू आउट द डे आपने जो मैक्सिमम एक्सपोजर यूटिलाइज किया हुआ है, मैक्सिमम मार्जिन यूटिलाइज किया हुआ है, वो आपका हाईएस्ट, और यह हम लोग इसे कह सकते हैं कि पीक मार्जिन, राइट. सो द पीक मार्जिन इज ओनली दैट कि जो आपने हाईएस्ट यूज किया हुआ मार्जिन है. तो मैं एग्जांपल यहाँ पे बताऊंगा कि से फॉर एग्जांपल एट 10 o'clock मैंने 10,000 का एक इंट्राडे ट्रेड के लिए ट्रेड प्लेस किया, जो मेरा कोई भी हो सकता है, लॉन्ग या शॉर्ट कोई भी पोजीशन हो सकता है. देन 10:30 को मैंने फिर डेरिवेटिव सेगमेंट में एक 50,000 1,20,000 का मार्जिन यूटिलाइजेशन किया. सो 1,20,000 और मॉर्निंग 10 का 10,000 इज एडिशन हम लोग करेंगे तो 1,30,000 का मेरा मार्जिन यूटिलाइजेशन हुआ है। देन आफ्टर 10:30 मैंने फिर से 11 बजे और एक ट्रेड एग्जीक्यूट किया जिसके अंदर मैंने मार्जिन यूटिलाइजेशन किया 50,000 का। सो 1,30,40,000 प्लस 50,000 1 लाख आपका हो गया 90,000 रुपीज। और फिर से मैंने हाफ एन आवर के बाद 10,000 किया। सो मैक्सिमम 2 लाख रुपीज, जो 2 लाख का मार्जिन मैंने यूटिलाइज किया है अप टू 11:30। सो मेरा पीक मार्जिन रहेगा अप टू 11:30 इज 2 लाख रुपीज, ठीक है। देन उसके बाद मैंने सपोज 1 o'clock को मैंने कोई पोजीशन जो था मैंने पूरा स्क्वायर अप कर दिया, ठीक है। सो मेरा मार्जिन इज रिड्यूस टू द 1,50,000 रुपीज। सो अगर मैं देखूंगा तो 1 बजे मेरा मार्जिन रहेगा 1,50,000 रुपीज, राइट। सो मेरा हाईएस्ट मार्जिन मैंने यूटिलाइज किया था जो 1 बजे के पहले था वो 2 लाख रुपीज। 1 o'clock मैंने पोजीशंस को रिड्यूस किया, मेरा मार्जिन आ गया 1,50,000 रुपीज। सो ये मॉर्निंग से लेके 1 बजे तक 2 स्नैपशॉट समझो आ गए, तो उसमें मेरा हाईएस्ट मार्जिन रहेगा 2 लाख रुपीज का, राइट। अभी मैं 1 बजे से 2 बजे के बीच में मैंने एक पोजीशन लॉन्ग कर लिया और उसका यूटिलाइज मेरा जो मार्जिन था वो 1 लाख रुपीज से हो गया। सो मेरा मार्जिन हो गया 2,50,000 रुपीज। सो 1 से 2 या 1 से 2:30 बजे के बीच में अगर सुनते मेरा स्नैपशॉट थर्ड स्नैपशॉट जो आ जाएगा वो रहेगा 2.5 लाख रुपीज। सो जो मेरा हाईएस्ट पिक मार्जिन इन बिटवीन रहेगा 2.5 लाख। फिर 2.5 लाख के बाद अगर 2:30 बजे के बाद सपोज मैंने पोजीशन पूरा का पूरा जीरो कर दिया या फिर मैंने कोई पोजीशन लॉन्ग रखा, सो हम लोग देखेंगे 1 लाख रुपीज का मेरा पोजीशन लॉन्ग रहता है जो मेरा मार्जिन यूटिलाइजेशन हो गया। एंड 3:30 को पोजीशन मेरा 3:30 को मार्केट क्लोज हो गई। सो हमने देखा कि मॉर्निंग से लेके 3:30 तक जो मेरा मार्जिन यूटिलाइजेशन हुआ है वो हाईएस्ट हुआ था 2.5 लाख रुपीज। उसके बाद मैंने 2:30 के बाद पोजीशन स्क्वायर अप किया और मेरा 1 लाख रुपीज का ईओडी मार्जिन रह गया, तो मेरा पोजीशन जो है। तो एंड ऑफ द डे में अगर हम लोग देखेंगे तो ईओडी मार्जिन मेरा आ जाएगा 1 लाख रुपीज का, बट मेरा पिक मार्जिन आ जाएगा 2.5 लाख रुपीज का। सो हम लोग देखेंगे तो पीक मार्जिन ये इसी तरह से कैलकुलेट होता है और यही 4 स्नैपशॉट जो है वो एक्सचेंज डिलीवर करता है ब्रोकर को बाय क्लाइंट वाइज इक्विटी और डेरिवेटिव सेगमेंट को कंबाइन करके। और फिर एंड ऑफ द डे में जब फाइनल फाइल आ जाता है वो फाइनल फाइल में वो जो 4 स्नैपशॉट में जो हाईएस्ट वाला है वही पिक मार्जिन को रिपोर्ट में आ जाता है। सो बेसिकली ये हो गया तो कंसेप्ट और ये हो गया उसका कैलकुलेशन, ठीक है। सो द फ्रेमवर्क टूल्स सेड की रिपोर्टिंग ईओडी मार्जिन ऑब्लिगेशन ऑफ द क्लाइंट शैल बी कंपेयर्ड विद द रेस्पेक्टिव क्लाइंट मार्जिन available with TM at EOD and the peak margin obligation of the client across the snapshot shall be compared with the respective client, the peak margin available with the TM during the day. So EOD margin and the peak margin वो fulfill करने के लिए आपको तो upfront ही margin देना जरूरी है and that margin is come to the effect जैसे अगर हम लोग कहेंगे कि कैश मतलब कैश में आपको दे सकते हैं या एज वेल एज आप कोलेटरल भी दे सकते हैं। सो राइट नाउ अगर हम लोग देखें तो 2 months back the exchange started the new concept for the collateral that is the pledge of your shares. So आपको कोई भी if you have that 1,000 of freelance in your demat account and if you are place an order of rupees 2 lakhs rupees but you are not pledge your share, so you need to fulfill that pledge. You just place the shares and then after you need to take a position, otherwise the margin shortage or the peak margin shortage will come to the limelight. So peak margin fulfill करने के लिए you need to pledge your shares whatever you in your demat account, otherwise you just give the cash in the sense the check or the NFT or RTGS, but that need to give that upfront margin. So आपको अपफ्रंट मार्जिन ही देना है। पिक मार्जिन फुलफिल करना है, ईओडी फुलफिल करना है तो आपको अपफ्रंट मार्जिन देना ही पड़ेगा। अगर समझो आपको 2 lakhs का पोजीशन करना है, so you need to check, otherwise if you have the 2 lakhs rupees of margin in your account or not. If suppose not, then you just give the 2 lakhs rupees of check, otherwise the pledge of shares of value 2 lakhs rupees said। तो अगर आपका ये प्लेज भी हो गया और आपका अगर बैलेंसेस भी है और व्हाटएवर मतलब कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। सपोज यू हैव द 50,000 रुपीज ऑफ स्टॉक, सो यू जस्ट फुलफिल द 1.5 लाख रुपीज ऑफ कैश। अगर आपके पास 1 लाख रुपए का कैश है तो 1 लाख रुपए का आपको स्टॉक प्लेस करना है। सो ये फुलफिल करने के लिए आपको ये दोनों चीज अवेलेबल है, एज वेल एज आप एफडी भी दे सकते हो, बीजी भी दे सकते हो, बट इट्स डिपेंड्स ऑन द ब्रोकर व्हाट दे आर एक्चुअली रिसीव्ड एज अ मार्जिन ऑब्लिगेशन। सेकेंडली So remember, the applicable upfront margin are required to be collected from the client in advance of the trade. What I said in 2 minutes back, the upfront framework that prescribed in the annexure is only for the purpose of verification of upfront collection of margin and layoff penalty. So if suppose you are not deposit your upfront margin or the EOD margin or the peak margin, so it's come to the effect as a penalized by the exchange, and that penalization sees the 1% started from the 1% to that 5%. So please take care before you place an order. So the highlights of the framework 3 is the verification of availability of margin with the TM or clearing member shall be done by the exchange clearing corporation on weekly basis by the verification of the balances in the books and ledger of the TM. So हम लोग ये बता सकते हैं कि एवरी योर मार्जिन अवेलेबल है या नहीं है. इसके लिए एक्सचेंज में डेली रिपोर्टिंग एज अ ब्रोकर करना ही पड़ता है फॉर क्लाइंट वाइज, एज वेल एज एंड ऑफ द वीक यू ब्रोकर को आपके पूरे लेजर बैलेंसेस बाय डे वो भी रिपोर्टिंग करने पड़ते हैं. सो वी कांट एडजस्ट योर मार्जिन और यू कांट एडजस्ट योर बैलेंसेस अगेंस्ट द मार्जिन फुलफिलमेंट. सो बेसिकली आपको ये चीज को ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा. सो फ्रेमवर्क 4 जिस सेड कि ये जो पीक मार्जिन है, तो पीक मार्जिन में बेसिकली कुछ एग्जम्पशन सेक्शन ने दिया है बिकॉज द पैंडेमिक एंड ड्यू टू द कोविड सिचुएशन. न्यू फ्रेमवर्क है, everybody is struggling for the new concept or new circular by the SEBI. तो ये समझने के लिए एक्सचेंज ने कुछ रिलैक्सेशन दिया हुआ है, जिसके अंदर ये था कि अक्टूबर टू नवंबर जब पीक मार्जिन इफेक्ट में आ गया था, तो अक्टूबर टू नवंबर जो 2020 कोई पेनल्टी नहीं था, बट पीक मार्जिन रिपोर्टिंग कंपलसरी रखा था. देन दिसंबर 20, जैसे मैंने बताया कि 1 दिसंबर से पेनल्टी चालू हो गया, बट जो पेनल्टी जो है वो फुलफिलमेंट उन्होंने बताया हुआ है, इट इज ओनली 25% ऑफ पीक मार्जिन, राइट. सो इफ सपोज अगर आपका 1 लाख रुपीज का पीक मार्जिन का रिपोर्टिंग है एंड इफ यू आर सपोज टू फुलफिल ओनली 25,000 रुपीज, सो आपको कोई भी पेनल्टी उसमें नहीं लगने वाला है, राइट. सो दिसंबर से लेके फेब 2021 तक यू नीड टू फुलफिल ओनली 25% ऑफ योर पीक मार्जिन, राइट. जैसे मैंने बताया 1 लाख रुपीज ऑफ पीक मार्जिन है, आपने सिर्फ 25,000 रुपीज ही मार्जिन जमा कर दिया, कलेक्ट कर लिया, ब्रोकर को दिया, देन इट्स ओके. सो नो नीड टू फुलफिल 75% बिकॉज उस पर पेनल्टी नहीं लगने वाला है. बट एज एन हैबिट हम लोग कह सकते हैं, तो यू नीड टू फुलफिल 100%, राइट. देन मार्च 2021 से लेके मई 2021 तक आपको 50% ऑफ पीक मार्जिन जो है वो आपको डिपॉजिट करना पड़ेगा. 50% ऑफ पीक मार्जिन वो आपको डिपॉजिट करना पड़ेगा. अगर सपोज आप नहीं करते हो, देन यू नीड टू फेस टू द पेनल्टी चार्जेस बाय द एक्सचेंज. देन जून 2021 से लेके अगस्त 21 तक आपको 75% ऑफ पीक मार्जिन सबमिशन करना पड़ेगा. तो 75% इट मींस ऑलमोस्ट टू द 100%, राइट. बट इन केस ऑफ कोई पीक मार्जिन में इंटरनेट ट्रेड करता है, तो आज के डेट में अगर आपके पास 1 लाख रुपीज है, सो 4 लाख रुपीज का पीक मार्जिन का बेनिफिट ले सकते हो, क्योंकि ओनली यू नीड टू फुलफिल ओनली 1 लाख रुपीज. अदरवाइज फ्रॉम 1 सितंबर 2021 से लेके अगर आपको 4 लाख रुपीज का मार्जिन यूटिलाइजेशन किया, पीक मार्जिन अगर आपका लगा हुआ है, तो आपको 4 लाख रुपीज ही फुलफिल करना पड़ेगा, वो आपको अपफ्रंट जमा ही करना पड़ेगा. सो व्हाट आई सेड टू द क्लाइंट राइट नाउ कि आप आपका कोई भी जो हैबिट से आज ही से ये पैनल आप ये स्टार्ट कर दीजिए कि आपका जितना पीक मार्जिन लगने वाला है, जितना एक्सपोजर आप यूटिलाइज करने वाले हो, आप वो अपफ्रंट ही कर दीजिए. बिकॉज दिसंबर से फेब कब हो जाने वाला है और फेब से 25 का 50% स्लैब में कब जाने वाला है, वो क्लाइंट को पता ही नहीं चलेगा. और सिर्फ 2-2 महीने का, 2-3 महीने का तो सिर्फ वक्त है, जिसके अंदर अगर समझो हम लोग ने हैबिट रख दिया, तो वी जस्ट ये कह सकते हैं कि किस तरह से हम लोग को पोजीशंस करके ट्रेड करना पड़ेगा, जो ट्रेड्स के अंदर हम लोग को मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट लेना पड़ेगा. अदरवाइज प्रॉफिट हम लोग कमाने जाएंगे एंड दैट वी नीड टू फुलफिल द पेनल्टी. सो ये अवॉइड करने के लिए ये चीज को ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा. देन राइट, सो एग्जाम्पल के बारे में बता रहा हूँ. एग्जाम्पल ये है कि जैसे मैं कोई भी आज कोई पोजीशन में ट्रेड करता हूँ और उसमें यूडी मार्जिन जो है वो 1 लाख रुपीज है एंड आई जस्ट कलेक्टेड 2 लाख रुपीज अप फ्रंट, राइट. तो मुझे कोई भी पेनल्टी लगने वाला नहीं है बिकॉज शॉर्टेज इज नील फॉर द ईओडी मार्जिन, राइट, ओनली फॉर द ईओडी मार्जिन. बट पीक मार्जिन अगर सपोज है, तो पीक मार्जिन अगर आपका 5 लाख रुपीज है एंड आपने कलेक्ट किया हुआ है, मतलब आपने ब्रोकर के पास आपका मार्जिन जमा हुआ है 2 लाख रुपीज, सो आपको 2 लाख रुपीज जो कलेक्टेड मार्जिन है, क्योंकि 25% ऑफ 5 लाख हो जाता है नियर अबाउट 1 लाख समथिंग 25,000 रुपीज। सो शॉर्टेज ऑफ 3 लाख रुपीज जो है, जो आज के डेट में उस पर कोई पेनल्टी लगने वाला नहीं है। ओके, बट यही चीज अगर सपोज 1 सितंबर 2021 में होता है, अगर आपका पिक मार्जिन 5 लाख रुपीज आ जाता है और आपका कलेक्टेड सिर्फ 2 लाख रुपीज है, तो 3 लाख रुपीज के ऊपर आपको पेनल्टी चार्ज होने वाला है। तो पिक मार्जिन कैलकुलेशन इज ऑल्सो इजी, जो मैं एक लाइव एग्जांपल के साथ ले लूंगा। मतलब मार्जिन किस तरह से देखना है या फिर कैसे समझना है उसके बारे में। जैसे मैंने बताया कि 1 नवंबर 2021 से लेके अगर मेरा 1 लाख रुपीज का एओडी मार्जिन है, 2 लाख रुपीज ऑफ मेरा कलेक्टेड है, देन मुझे कोई भी एओडी मार्जिन में पेनल्टी नहीं लगेगा। बट मेरा पिक मार्जिन 5 लाख रुपीज का है, मेरा सिर्फ कलेक्शन जो है 2 लाख रुपीज मार्जिन जमा है ब्रोकर के साथ, तो मुझे जो 3 लाख रुपीज का शॉर्टेज जा रहा है मार्जिन का, उसके ऊपर मुझे पेनल्टी लगने वाला है। So जैसे मैंने बताया कि the penalty start from 1% to the highest penalty is the 5%. Okay, but this is also non-compliance of the exchange, so उसके लिए exchange जो है penalty बढ़ाती जाती है। So और एक मैं आपको example दिखाना चाहूँगा, just a moment. आप इसमें से कोई बता पाएगा कि डेरिवेटिव्स में कौन ट्रेड करता है यहाँ पे? प्लीज ऑन योर माइक, प्लीज। राइट नाउ अभी इसके आगे से हम थोड़ा इंटरैक्टिव सेशन ले लेंगे, बिकॉज ये समझ में आ जाएगा कि एग्जैक्टली किस तरह से पीक मार्जिन को समझने जा रहे हैं हम लोग। आई एम ऑडिबल? हेलो
Guys, come on, you had
Yes, Vishal, you are
this thing,
audible.
doubts.
Yeah, but I haven't done any derivatives as of now.
So please unmute and ask
So
and
I'm
get
not-
them cleared.
yes Pratik.
Okay, so Amit, Chair, Nena.
Just pointing out.
Okay, so you are
I'm mostly doing the
You
intraday.
guys are not interacting.
I'm mostly doing the intraday and the
We'll close this. There's no point.
Okay, no issue. So it's not an issue, it's a derivatives or equity, because the peak margin and EOD margin are charged both the segment. So I just try, because the derivative segment, in derivative segment, the both of most of the people are utilize their highest exposure, what they are actually have. So that's why I just asking. So if you are doing in equities or not an issue.
I trade in derivatives. My name is Amit Pini.
Okay. So I just log into the website of nscindia.com. So can you see? Hello.
No.
Oh, just a moment. Okay. I again share that screen. Just a moment. Okay, fine. So, so everybody can access that NSE India website, right? So
Yes.
I just type that the one of the favorite stock, or we can say the popular stock of Reliance Industry, right? So okay. If suppose what margin charged by script, because it depends on the script. So every time the client is asked, अगर समझो मैंने 1 लाख रुपए दिया तो मुझे कितना एक्सपोजर मिलेगा. So again मैं यही कहता हूँ कि is depend on what stock you are traded, right? So if suppose I just traded in Reliance Industry, so the margin is 16.14%, right? Additionally, VAR margin is 16.14%. If suppose I just calculated कि अगर मेरे पास 1 लाख रुपीज ऑफ मार्जिन है, राइट, तो मुझे रिलायंस का ट्रेड करना है तो कितना मार्जिन देना, कितना मार्जिन पड़ेगा, कितना मैं ट्रेड कर सकता हूँ. You just need to calculate कि मेरा 16%, if suppose हम लोग calculate करेंगे 15%, right? So the 3 times it means 5 times मैं इसमें trade कर सकता हूँ. Suppose 1 lakh rupees का मेरे पास margin जमा है, so I can trade of exposure, utilize maximum exposure of margin is 5 lakhs rupees. ठीक है? So this is the calculation. Okay. अभी सपोज ये वार मार्जिन जो यूटिलाइज होता है ये रिलायंस का हो गया 16% या फिर हम लोग कैसे 20%, सो मैक्सिमम इज 20%, राइट? सो मैं 5 टाइम ट्रेड कर रहा हूँ. देन आई जस्ट गिव द अनदर एग्जांपल ऑफ यस बैंक. ओके, यस बैंक हैज अ मार्जिन इज 53%, so near about 50%, right? तो अगर सपोज वी हैव आई हैव द 1 लाख रुपीस मार्जिन, so I just place on order only 2 lakhs rupees. So in case of Reliance, there is a maximum exposure I can utilize the 5 lakhs rupees. But in case of Yes Bank, only 2 lakhs rupees there. Okay. So it depends on script to script.
Vishal,
Yeah.
sir,
Yes,
I want
yes.
to ask, how are you doing the calculation?
The simple calculation is if suppose I just simple calculation is suppose the 50% of margin. So you can do your trade twice. Suppose whatever the margin you are deposited. If suppose if you have the 1 lakh rupees of margin and the margin is 50%, so you can trade 2 lakhs rupees of that particular stock, right?
Okay, but we'll have to go and see the VAR margin again and again.
If suppose you are traded in the same script on daily basis, you not need to go again and again in trade. But each and every day you can trade only 4 or 5 script only, right? Otherwise, if you are just get an news of or you get an any call, so you just check what the margin the script is have, right? So
So
those
this
script
applies on intraday.
yeah. So the peak margin is also is apply for the intraday. It is apply for the intraday as well as that long or the short position, right? So जो भी trade करेंगे या फिर whatever you are traded in equity or derivative, so is combine what you are utilize the maximum exposure. So that is your the peak margin, right? This is what I said. Give the example. In that example, if suppose again I just repeat that example. If suppose at 10 o'clock I just take a long position of rupees 50,000 rupees, right? That time my peak margin is 50,000 rupees, right? Then 11:30 I just trade again and doing another long position in derivatives and utilize 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakhs rupees. So again 2.5 lakh rupees of the margin is the peak margin for the particular date. Okay. Then after 12:30, in between 1 and 2 o'clock, I just again do a one trade and again I just bought a long position of 50,000 rupees. So total margin is 3 lakh rupees. So for the during a day, the peak margin is 3 lakh rupees. But after 3 o'clock, in between 3 and 3:30, I just square up the position. Okay. So EOD margin might be a little bit amount. In case of your loss, then the MTM is there. But if suppose you are doing the profit, so there is no margin for the EOD, but the peak margin is 3 lakhs rupees, right? So you need to fulfill the 3 lakhs rupees of peak margin. In case of, if suppose we are actually given example, right now you need to fulfill only 25% of the peak margin. If suppose 3 lakh rupees of your peak margin, so you need to fulfill only 75, near about 75,000 rupees. Okay. So it's not too worried about the peak margin because right now the exchange give the relaxation, right? So you can do your trade with a maximum exposure what you are doing, but you need to care about because after Feb 21 the peak margin compulsion is the 50%. So right now the 25%, but from the March 2021 it's come to the 50%. So up to that, you can enjoy that relaxation given by the exchange.
So, Vishal sir,
Yeah.
basically, if supposingly I have 1 lakh rupees in my Upstocks account
Okay.
and I'm trading, so I did 3 trades, but my peak margin is 125. So,
Okay.
how do I fulfill the margin benefit? Like, as in, because I've used and I've traded, and maybe if I am in a profit, so I have probably 125 in my account.
Okay.
So, what is the, how are you supposed to fulfill the peak margin?
The same day. Basically, the every broker set you the your limit, whatever you have the margin with them, right? But sometime you can take a extra exposure for the your intraday trading, right? But
Yeah.
even though during the day, suppose the market is goes volatile, and that time also the script to script is depend. So the margin is rise 2 or 3% during the day. Probably it's not happen, but sometimes it's happen. But when the market is go upside or downside very drastically. But you're not too worried because the broker set your limit as per your margin deposited with them. And in case of your utilize one and a half lakh rupees for the peak margin, so right now you need to fulfill only 25% of your peak margin. So right now, if suppose you have the 1 lakh rupees of deposit with the broker, so you're not too worried because no penalty will charge by the exchange on your peak margin of one and a half lakh rupees, whatever you are traded in particular day. But you need to
So
check
the
the next day also.
25% of 150 which will be there, that should be in my account in either Zerodha or Upstocks that I'm trading in.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yes,
Vishal
yes.
sir. This
Yeah.
is Pratik this side. So I
Yeah.
have one basic question. Maybe like
Hmm.
so basic question is like assume that let's take an example that I opened a Upstock account and
Yes.
with a opening balance of like 1 lakh rupees. Okay,
Right.
and so that will be my upfront margin, correct? Okay.
Barabar.
Now,
Right.
after upfront margin, as you said, I made a intraday. I did the intraday and traded around 1,50,000 based on the margin.
Right.
Okay. Now, after that, again I made a transaction, as in again I purchased another stock, let's say B, with another 50,000. So total I spend is 2 lakhs, right?
Right.
After whereas my actual limit was only 1 lakh.
1 lakh.
Right, the
Right.
upfront margin, correct? Yeah. So in this case, but at this because it is an intraday, I'm squaring off by 3 o'clock, okay, and I'm getting a loss of let's say 2,000 rupees.
Okay.
But I'm squaring off the position. Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
so in that case, the upfront margin which was given in the morning, right, when the market opened, and the upfront margin which has been came to at the end of the day, will it have any impact on the as in will the SEBI be fining me for keeping the as in losing the 2,000 rupees also?
No. Absolutely not. Because the loss and profit is a part of the market.
No, no.
No, absolutely not. So exchange
Correct.
exchange or SEBI want the people don't lose their money until and unless whatever they have their account. Most of the time, what happen if suppose client having only 10,000 rupees in their account, right? Why these circulars come to the effect? So I just give the background because sometimes if suppose any client having only 10,000 rupees in their ledger balance, right? And he asked to the broker कि भाई मेरे को है ना ट्रेड करना है, मुझे लगता है कि because this stock is goes up and I am sure about it, so I just want to more exposure for the particular trade, right? And he took a position, right? Suppose he have 10,000 rupees, but he's take a 3 lakhs rupees of the position. Then the market whatever you are ये expected कि भाई ये long जो मैंने किया था ये मुझे ऊपर जाने वाला है, but is not but he is stock goes down, okay, and he made a loss of his 50,000 rupees, okay. अभी ये 40,000 रुपया है वो क्लाइंट से मुझे लेना है,
अंडरस्टूड,
ओके. सो ये ना लेने के लिए एक्सचेंज ने वो मार्जिन कंपलसरी कर दिया कि पीक मार्जिन अगर उसका उतना है तो उतना ही उनको लिमिट दे दो. सो इससे ये बेनिफिट हो गया कि सपोज आप जितना ट्रेड कर रहे हो विदाउट एनी टेकिंग एक्स्ट्रा एक्सपोजर बाय द ब्रोकर, तो आप वो ट्रेड में एग्जीक्यूट करने वाले हो, तो कोई भी अगर लॉस भी हो जाएगा एंड ऑफ द डे में और आपका मार्जिन शॉर्टेज है और अगर आप फुलफिल नहीं कर पा रहे, सो आपका जो मार्जिन शॉर्टेज है उस पर पेनल्टी लगने वाला है, ठीक है. अगर आपको पेनल्टी नहीं लग रहा है और मार्केट कुछ भी हो जाने वाला है, तो आपका कोई भी जो लॉस है वो लॉस आपके पास अवेलेबल है. लॉस फुलफिल करने के लिए आपके पास मार्जिन और डिपॉजिट और कोलैटरल इज अवेलेबल. सो इट इज ओनली फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ क्लाइंट ओनली. कि इसमें client अभी extra exposure लेके यार you're not making a loss in the market, right? So the Pratik is clear. Okay.
And if I want to increase, let's say, like, you know, yes, Vishal, sir, it is clear. Now I want to another question, like, you know, let's say that, you know, I had initially opened the account. Today I opened the account. Tomorrow I did all the 2 transactions, and then I square off at 3 o'clock. Okay. Now I remembered that, you know, I want to purchase like, you know, another let's say script, right, with 3 lakhs of margin. Okay. But my account had only 1 lakh, and variable is also 80%. So like, you know, I cannot purchase by 1 lakh. Okay. So what I do, I immediately transfer another, let's say 2 lakhs. Okay. And which is like, you know, higher than what I'm about to spend. Let's say 2.75 is my target. Okay. So after that, immediately if I purchase, which will be again the higher peak, as in, like, you know, which will increase the peak of the day for me, because the highest peak was 1,50,000, which was recorded before 1 o'clock. Okay. But now I'm making a transaction after depositing the another 2 lakhs, right? Of 2,75,000. Right. So this one also will not have any impact on the peak margin, right? Or sorry, the upfront margin or peak margin, right? Because I'm still having a 25,000 plus.
Yes, absolutely. So you just again you transfer the margin to the broker.
Yeah.
Okay. So that time also you fulfill the peak margin as well as UD margin also. So you're not too worried. You're not too worried. So whenever you just need the extra exposure. Yeah. Sorry. Continue, Pratik. Yeah.
No, you continue, sir. I was just saying, okay.
So if suppose you want
to mentioning that, you know, whenever we want.
Okay. If suppose whenever you want to took an extra exposure, so you just give the upfront margin before you place a trade. So every time you just fulfill the compliances. So you're not too worried about the peak margin EOD until and unless you are not utilize that extra benefit given by the any broker, or you are just taking extra exposure for the intraday trade, right? So that time you just need to worry about that.
So one question on that, what you just said. So the benefit that you get from Upstocks and Zerodha, like if I'm going for a cover order, which basically if I would go for a delivery would cost me different, but I'm taking the margin benefit at a cover order. So if I'm buying probably certain amount of shares and it's costing me around 15,000 instead of like 2 lakh rupees or something. So my peak margin would be 2 lakh rupees.
Yeah, your peak margin is 2 lakh rupees. It depends on the stock also, and even whatever you are traded along that, the derivative and the equity segment, both they are calculated at the same time. Even if suppose if you have the M6 or the commodity account with that broker, and you that time that also you are utilized, so the all together we need to check that the peak margin is what amount is come the effect. Right. So equity, derivative, commodity, all the exchanges at the same time, you need to fulfill the peak margin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I'll have to put that amount in my this thing, what do you call it, in my account at Zerodha or Upstocks.
Yeah.
To fulfill the peak margin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I clear this question very clearly, Vishal bhai?
Yep.
Yes, Sanjay. Nenayo.
Yeah. Good. Good evening, all of them. You can put your pledge your shares also, which is hold in your account. So basically, the name is different. Peak margin, then EOD margin, and some question is there like a MTM. So MTM is a different matter, but it including the margins only. Peak margins means during the working time 9:15 to 3:30, how much exposure you are utilized at your own account. If your UOD margin is fulfilled, that will end of the day, what will you carry over for the next day. When you are dealing in the delivery, that means you are buying a delivery. So that's the UOD margin, which is now completely 100%. If you are not fulfilling that UOD, you have to pay 100% penalty. But in peak margin, they are given the privilege. Out of the 100%, you have to maintain right now only 20% margin as a peak margin. That's why broker like us, or you are taken the name of the Zerodha or the Upstock, they give more privilege in an intraday.
Yes.
You got it? What I'm trying to say. It's a EOD margin is the 1 lakh rupees. So you have to fill only 20%. So you are keeping 1 lakh rupees, but you will get 4 lakhs rupees of the more exposure in the intraday basis. Because right now, for the sum term, as Vishal explained, day margin, forget that name of the peak and all those things. We will talk in the layman language. If you are putting your any position for the next day, if you are taking any future and call option, and if you are keeping outstanding, you have to pay end of the day margin. Earlier, one question was there, how the margin is calculated. It's a depend on the scripts, how volatile is script. You are about that, sometimes there goes the 90%. So you are going to trade. So there is a 90%. There's a 90% तक वो script exposure block हो जाता है, तो margin automatically increase. So Reliance, compared to the Reliance, and Vishal given the example of the Yes Bank. So Yes Bank is a high beta stock. It's कभी-कभी 20% down जाता है, 40% जाता है. If you see the Reliance maybe like a 2%, 3%. Right now in the last time, it increased like a 20%. The margin, they have some specific formula. Exchanges have the specific formula. By using that formula, they charge the margin. But don't get confused between the margin, EOD margin. If you want to trade and you are get confusing, hope everyone softwares had the good stock and good suggestion. How much EOD margin is there if you are using our mobile shop? We had shown that how much EOD margin is there and how much end of the day margin is there and how much peak margin is there. Right now, all broker had set their RMS policy to the investor. If you are taking any order and it is secured up by the MIS, maybe the MIS means the order which you are taken for the intraday automatically is correct. So there is no question of shortage of the margin, because whatever will the RMS policy set for the yourself, वो क्राइटेरिया ध्यान में रखिए क्या है कि ये पिक मार्जिन इनका इतना रखा है तो शॉर्ट जाएगा नहीं, उसके ऊपर आपका ऑर्डर जाता नहीं. If you are taking a privilege from RMS guy or any broker to do more trade, then there is a chance of a shortage of the peak margin or EOD margin.
Okay.
Okay, so I try to cover all the queries in short. So
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So,
sir, I have a question.
yes, please.
See, for example, I'm purchasing a Reliance future today, which is 505 in quantity. The margin required is 2,49,000 in Zerodha for today. Okay, so if the price is same, like 2001 for Reliance after September 1st, so how much it will cost me?
So how much? Sorry, pardon.
So the margin required for today is 2,49,000. Okay, right. To buy one lot of Reliance. So September में क्या? September 2021 में क्या होगा इसका? So will I be still?
It is remains same, sir. It is remains same. Right now, if you are taking a one Reliance 505 quantity, end of the margin is 2,49,000.
Yes.
But tomorrow, I will cross your question. Tomorrow, you want to do a more one trade on a intraday basis for a Reliance.
Okay.
So out of the 249, you have to pay only 20% to do a one Reliance more trade in an intraday basis right now. If after the September, if you want to trade a one more Reliance in a next day, you need to pay 2,49,000 complete.
Okay.
You got it? So EOD margins remain same as per the volatility. Okay. Only peak margin is a 20% of the total of your EOD margin right now today till September. Okay. Is it clear out till there is some confusion?
No, fine, it's fine.
Okay.
Sir, after September 2021, so we'll still have the benefit of cover orders for intraday.
By paying 100% margin, there is a chance of cover order.
Okay, so as I gave an example that I'm paying around 15,000 for sorry. As I gave the example that I'm paying 15,000 for the margin that I'm getting for a cover order, that actually would cost me around 2 lakh rupees. So I would basically have to put around 2 lakh rupees in my account and then trade a cover order.
So there are almost. Vishal, you are giving answer. Is it right, madam? Perfect.
Is it correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
It is correct.
All right. Thank you.
So right now, as Sanjay sir said, and what you're saying, the peak margin is equal to the EOD margin, right? So if suppose do only one trade a day for the long position, and you carry the position for the day. Suppose if you are purchaser or taking a position of margin rupees 1 lakh rupees. Okay. So right now the peak margin is also 1 lakh rupees, and the EOD margin also is 1 lakh rupees. Okay. But you need to fulfill 1 lakh rupees as a EOD margin as per the margin available with broker is remains same. But the peak margin is only need to 25,000 rupees. If suppose you have but the margin reporting for the exchange for the peak purpose, it's only 25,000 rupees.
Yes, Vishal, sir, that I understood, but I was asking about beyond September 21.
So beyond September also there is you get a benefit of a cover call. So you not need to worry. You get the benefit of the cover call.
That would still be 25%.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think we are just clear this the queries about the peak margin. So if anybody have any question or any query about the peak margin, so just unmute yourself and just tell us.
Sir, is there any probability that SEBI might take back this rule?
No, sir.
No.
Well, so it is actually benefit of the benefit for the client, na? So that's why. Because what I said in the 10 minutes back, ये सब तो client के लिए आपके लिए ही है, because you market में अच्छा लग रहा है या फिर we can say कि अगर market अच्छा है करके और लॉस ना हो इसके लिए एक्शन ये सर्कुलर ये बना हुआ है, so it's good for the client. So तो इसके अब हम लोग को आदत डालनी पड़ेगी, and as per that SEBI guidelines and the exchange communication, we need to trade. So that's for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yes, Siddharth sir, I think.
Yes. So guys, by the way, Vishal, if
yes.
you have the demo account, if you can show them how it works, quickly, guys. So basically, as you know, some brokers, Zerodha, Upstocks, and other discount brokers, they sometimes give you a problem with logging in, and and what happens is कि कोई अच्छा reliable broker अगर ढूंढना है, तो the problem is कि their systems are very difficult to manage, especially on the web. Okay, so I would just like just 5 minutes from you guys, just see how this how Vishal's system is. Vishal, do you have that access to the demo account? Can you just show how simple and how easy it is on screen share if you can?
Right now, just need to check. Just a moment. Just hold on.
Can I take 2 minutes? So Vishal bhai need to log in on that.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much for opportunity. So again, in a layman language and all those things, we are Vishal bhai and Siddharth sir is try to talk you about the market. So the way earlier privilege was given by the brokering industry, and client is taking a more exposure. So this is my 23rd year experience in the share market. As you get a more exposure, you are going to lose the money. So what right now I had seen from the December, already you are kept your 20% for exposure. So client tried to scrap the position and a very minor loss. And all things, जैसा वो नल का line रहता है, everything is linked with your own account. So right now broker don't had a chance to manipulate your shares and your money. You already are educated people, so you had seen in the 2020 there is an 18th of the big brokering houses did a default in a capital market. That's why SEBI had taken such a kind of the action, and it is the only favor of individual clients. So don't take these things कि ये क्या ये अच्छे बड़े कुछ दो हस्ती है, वो लोग को ही मार्केट चलाना है, हमारे जैसे इन्वेस्टर अभी काम नहीं कर पाएंगे. Yes, you try to understand the thing and invest very wisely. You are going to earn the money in the market. So right now flow and the way market is behaving, because there are lots of people who is already involved in the market. So this is a very small changes. You try to understand, and if you are not understanding, do it practically. Just invest 5,000 rupees and take a small trade. Keep some very small position open. Play with the accounts. Play with that front end software. We had a very good platform where our client can check each and everything. How is the EOD margin? How is the peak margin? So don't worry about the thing, but try to understand the market. Even though fundamental, even though technical, and compliance is only and only favor of the investor. So we gradually we have become a broker. So Vishali is our director of the company, and he handle all compliances. He try to meet all kind of the meetings with SEBI as well as the BSE, NSE, and they always answer us why they are implementing such a kind of thing. I am also managing director of the company, and we are. This is the Sri Tisa is one of the brand from the last 21 year. Earlier we was sub broker, so we are about the pain point of the sub broker and the ultimate client also. And our platform, the front end platform as well as the back end platform, is like a you can easily choose the script. You can enter the easily order. There is a 19 type of the order you can easily enter into the market. So not to worry about the thing. My humble request is not that by kal uth ke tisai ke sath account open karo, but you try to understand the thing. It is not that much difficult. Thus they are using some difficult word, but layman language it is a very easy. Earlier and before that also you are paying that peak margin also and EOD margin also. Right now they try to penalize you if you are not paying the margin. And everything is centralized by RMS, managed by the exchanges. This is the one of the best things happens in the share market. And really, I am so happy because each and every investor's equity and fund is right now with a safe hand. That I can say with a safe hand. So Vishal, are you ready?
Yes, sir. I just need only 1 minute. Huh? I just log in it. Yeah.
Siddharth, if you needed the way how the thing is going on, like a paying obligation, payout obligation, what is meant by early paying, how early paying can save penalty of EOD as well as the peak margin. All those things concept also we had concept, and basically we are not a speaker like you. We are working at our hobby, so we know very well practical thing how to save and how we can give a more chance to the client. So that's also we had obligation. So main thing is obligation. How to, if sometimes market go down and go up and you had the reverse position and you lost MTM more money, then how you can save that penalty? That we can take a 30-35 minute session for your student, and this is only for you. Hello.
Thank you so much, sir. I mean, I really appreciate what you guys are doing for us.
Vishal, can please continue?
Yeah. So this is our actually mobile applications is available in Play Store also. So the Play Store is a Shritisai mobile application. So if whenever you just require to see the margin by the script wise, so you just go for the go in the trading. Uh, the option is a calculator. In that calculator, you need to go for the span calculator. You just select the script, whatever you just want to trade in that particular script. So I just select the Reliance. Just hold on. Okay. So the lot of the Reliance is 505, right? I just want to buy that particular lot and just add. So the margin is 2,47,000 rupees. So the margin is 2,47,000 rupees. So we can calculate the margin. If suppose you just took a position of a Reliance or particular stock, so the EOD margin is 2,47,000 rupees you need to fulfill, and the EOD margin is the also is a 2,47,000. But right now you just need to fulfill only 25% of that particular margin. So that means the 67,000 rupees, 61,000 rupees, right? So this is the applications you can see the span calculator. Even though you can just calculate even you can calculate the future and options that you just want to trade in particular stock. So sometimes you just buy the Reliance and then you want to sell the Nifty. So again, you can see okay, so that calculator is available. So every time you not need to go back and check the margin ki order डालो place करके देखो order जा रहा है कि नहीं जा रहा है. So you before you place an order, you can check the span margin or the margin you require, right? So again, even though we have that the cash margin, the net margin, what you are utilized. So in that our application, you can check. So what the cash available in your account, even though what here. So collateral. So in the webinar, we can say the collateral in the form of the pledge replace stocks. So that also the amount is come to the effective. यहाँ पे आपको दिखेगा. Then if suppose having holding collateral, so holding collateral, you can get the amount in the particular column, right? So if suppose you are the sale that your stock from the power of attorney, your demat account, so that CNC sale benefit also you can get for the particular stock. So everything is there. So you can check the limits available. Even though you check the CNC limit for the your intraday for the your delivery purpose. Even though you can the buy exposure limit or the sell exposure limit, you can check here. Even though MTM loss limit also set, we can set here. So gross exposure limit and the gross exposure limit for the derivatives. So it's different for the derivative segment and it's different for the equity segment, because in case of if you are doing a trade in the equity and you can place an order for the CNC market type, so the limit is different for the CNC order, and the limit is or the exposure is different for the derivatives order, right? So you can check the limit you said and the utilizations of the particular order, whatever you are traded in that particular time. So and every time at any time you can check that your utilized limit. At any time you can check your limit assigned to you, and you can anytime check whatever your credits available with the brokers with Shri side. So we just customize the everything for your understanding better what the margin you have with the broker. Secondly, the market watch is there, so you can check dashboard, the holding. So even you can check the holding, whatever things in your collateral or whatever in your demat account. So that's the thing. So I can see just one minute. So calculator option is there. So calculator option, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, you can check the your span calculation or span calculation for your particular trade. So you can set at any time, जैसे कि Reliance का कितना trade करना है. If suppose you want to long a Reliance and you want to short a Nifty, so you can put the, अगर मैंने ACC को long करना है, मैंने इसमें add कर दिया, add, the limit is 1,67,000. At the same time मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि मुझे अभी Nifty भी short करना है. ओके, सो मुझे निफ्टी सेल करना है, तो मुझे कितना लिमिट लगेगा, मार्जिन लगने वाला है. सो ओवरऑल द 3,34,000 ऑफ एक्सपोजर मार्जिन, और यू नीड टू फुलफिल द एक्सपोजर मार्जिन. सो इट इज, इफ सपोज यू आर लॉन्ग, मतलब आपका पोजीशन आप कैरी करने वाले हो, सो यू फुलफिल टू 3,34,000. और इसके अलावा अगर आपने कोई भी ट्रेड नहीं किया है, तो यही मार्जिन आपको लगने वाला है एज ए ईओडी मार्जिन और एज अ पीक मार्जिन. बट अगर आपने ये मार्जिन के साथ, ये ट्रेड के साथ, अगर समझो एंड ऑफ द डे में अगर आपने निफ्टी को स्क्वायर अप कर दिया, ठीक है, निफ्टी को आपने स्क्वायर अप कर दिया, तो आपका जो मार्जिन था, जिसके पहले जो एसीसी के लिए लगने वाला था, तो वो आपका ईओडी मार्जिन रहेगा, और 3,34,000 रुपीज है, वो आपको पीक मार्जिन लगेगा. So that is the concept for the peak margin and EOD margin. So I think I just clear the peak margin and the EOD margin.
Perfect.
Yeah. Over to you, Siddharth.
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay. So, guys, any questions? Shall we wrap up? Sanjay sir, you want to add something?
No. So thank you very much for joining. We like to give our knowledge the way we had, and really not to worry. I can say again and again, even in the industry, all the changes is only and only favor of our investor. So thank you, Siddharth, for taking effort to educate your fellow student. Really, I like the thing. And
thank you so much for having some time for us.
Thank you, Sanjay sir and Vishal sir. Thank you, Siddharth.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Siddharth, and thank you to everybody.
And please do keep updating us with such things. We'll be inviting you a lot more now.
Yes,
I think everyone liked the way you explain everything in detail. So thank you so much for that. And anytime you need anything, just do give us a call. We are always here.
Yes, sure. At any time. Oh, no issue. Thank you, Siddharth, and thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, guys. And I'll see you very soon.